Episode 2. We
Oh,
talked.
sorry. This is technically episode 3, but we're not going to talk about episode 2.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Episode 2 is a failed fucking project. But today we're talking about Operation Deadfall 2020. Big Milsim we just attended. Just gonna go
Well,
over. Sorry, what?
with how long it lasted with what we did, I don't think I'd say big, but
Yeah,
it was one of the bigger events we did.
we'll go over what went down, what we think was good, what we think was bad, that kind of stuff. Uh, I guess we'll just kind of start with like our initial thoughts of the Milsim. What do you think about it?
I think for like my second overnight thing for
Yeah.
Milsim, I think it was pretty good.
Okay.
I know, like, honestly, I'm kind of just happy with how it was organized. That's like my biggest thing, like, cause like there could be like a cool concept for a Milsim, like, for example, I'm gonna bring up Narco. So Narco was like the greatest concept ever,
Yeah.
but like the execution of it and the planning of it was just really bad in my opinion.
I
Not to
think
roast on,
I
not to
think
roast.
the event organizers did really well. I just think our commander and our command structure did
Well,
not
like,
do very well in that Milsim. Not this one, but in Narco.
at Narco, sorry, I hate to talk about Narco again, because like we're past that. But my only problem was with just like game admins. Just like I think they kind of just didn't care, in my opinion.
I think they
Uh,
did. I just think we didn't see much of them.
they kind of just threw information at us,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they did a really poor job at balancing. Obviously,
Yeah, big time when it came to that whole team thing.
yeah, I can't sugarcoat that. That's my only problem I had with it. Other than that, everything else was good.
Yeah. With Narco State, but referring to Deadfall,
Yeah, referring
you
to Deadfall, compared to that, oh my goodness, like I think the planning was just on point. Like there wasn't any problems. I don't think.
yeah. Besides that weird ammo thing, that was stupid.
That was the only weird thing.
Yeah.
I kind of get where he's coming from, but in the situation, which we'll
Yeah.
explain in a second, I think that was a little bit inappropriate.
Yeah. No, I thought it was good. There was a lot of positive things, and it was well organized, and I was excited to see that everybody who wanted to be there and was trying hard to play the game and wouldn't flake off after an hour or after we started losing or something like that. So I was
Yeah,
glad
they
to
were
see
there.
that.
They were in it to the end, so that's what I like.
So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll talk about the event and how it started. Do you want to talk? Do you want to give the timeline, or should I? Or what do you
Uh,
feel?
like from like when we first
Yeah,
started
when we
the
first
event, or
got
like
there.
so we got there around like what time was it? It was I think it was 8 something, wasn't it?
Yeah, like 9 o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we get there, we roll up. We're like, is this the place? It was like a really like it
it was a
wasn't sketchy. It was
field.
just
It
it
was
was
a
a
field
field,
with 12 cars parked. So
and we're like, oh. So we roll up and we get in a car and out of the shadows comes our commander Jeremy. His NVG is just like, who are you guys? Like literally, like that's the first thing we heard when we got there. Who are you guys? Checks the list, is like, oh, okay, nice to meet you guys. Um,
what if we're like, what? This isn't the fucking gerbil meetup. No, what'd you say? What'd you say?
we,
The
we pulled up. I'm like, shoe meetup, sneaker meetup, bro.
Oh my god! Yeah, what? This isn't the fucking sneaker meetup, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, but he told us to gear up and told us to be. We told him like what 10 minutes we'd be ready. We
Yeah,
took like 20 minutes.
yeah, but we got ready and we got on the field and we got into that first briefing, and that was really nice. That was a good sign because the briefing was good and it wasn't like like typical overdone airsoft briefing. There was actual like substance to it. They were actually telling us moderately important things. It
Yeah,
wasn't just a
it was
waste of time.
organized.
Yeah. And then we marched to our site, which was like 200 meters in. So
No, I'd say like 300 from where we were.
it was really close, though.
Like 250, yeah, maybe.
It was like really not that far of a little ruck march. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
even call it a march. It was just I walked. I picked up my bag and I dropped it like 2 minutes later. And then we set up camp, if you'd like to call it that, which we literally just put our sleeping bag in the ground. Um,
In the ground.
in the ground, yeah. And then we got assigned positions, and that was cool because we both got put on a position with no ammunition, only our rifles to scare away the enemy, the
Yeah,
possible
no,
enemy force.
yeah, no, so our commander's logic was like, okay, so the enemy's not gonna attack till tomorrow
Well, I guess
morning.
we should explain the theory or the method behind the game first, because some people may not know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, that's
the,
true. Okay,
the whole
so
point of the Milsim was that our side was doing training operations, and there may have been a chance that we would be engaged by an enemy force on the field. But that chance literally happened like the first night. I don't know what the other team was thinking. They were on crack. They were coming at us. But
yeah,
yeah, so we
but
got put on our position without ammunition.
yeah, he wanted us to do mags out training,
Yeah, which is
which would have been
also weird.
appropriate if we didn't have enemy presence in the area.
Yeah. So then we were managing that position, and then we did that cool shit guiding in that other squad. And that was pretty sick.
Hold on. Let's talk about our position more.
Oh, okay.
So we have some reference as to what's going on. So we get there. There's the parking lot. There's this trailer. We call it the trailer. That's what we call the position.
Well, because it was
That's
a
like
trailer.
yeah, obviously. That
Yeah,
was like that was like the admin area,
it was a code
and then
word.
past that was like the field, and that's where we quote unquote marched on, and then we walked into the forest. So our position was right on the entrance to our base from the forest, in like a little bush, and we got compliments to that position. That was an epic position.
It was pretty epic.
Yeah, we weren't they couldn't see us on nods, but they could see us on thermals.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
sorry I have
but yeah,
body temperature. I can't
but yeah, so
counteract that one.
we got in that position, really good, well hidden position. We radio in. Um, we check like okay, yeah, we're good. So we kind of just sat there for a little bit, did some radio checks, and then it happened. Fucking, we just hear just fucking pyrotechnics just like unload in like the
Did we
distance.
not? Did we not guide in that squad first, or was it?
No, it was after.
Okay.
So the pyrotechnics happened, and our commander were like, "Yo, we
And
getting
like,
ammo?"
this wasn't like light work. This was like you hear this giant banger grenade go off, and like people like screaming, like like shrieks of terror, and like firefights. There's a firefight going on, and then we're just sat in this hole without without ammunition, and I'm just freezing. And then we have to get ammo, and we were also the last people to get ammo, by the way. So that was also stupid, but whatever. Everyone else got armed, and we got armed in a different way. We got the PKM.
Yeah, so we radioed in. We're like, so are we gonna get ammo by chance? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna send a PKM to your position. And so I held the position, and uh, Kevin uh, went
Yeah,
back for the PKM. We did a little cool countersign thing. Our
counter
countersign was, yeah,
countersign. What are you talking about?
what do you call it?
Oh, the challenge word,
Yeah, the challenge
the
word.
Clinton Jefferson thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody used that, man. Like if a guy was
No, we
walking
did.
up. No, like we did first night. After that, though, it literally just devolved into, "Hey, man, what's up?" And then like his gun would be down, and then I wouldn't shoot him. So it kind of went away. Literally,
I think it devolved because we could see each other in the morning.
yeah, yeah. But the PKM was cool. Too bad we didn't get a chance to use it. Although if we did, that'd probably be a pretty fucking freaky chance fighting against guys with nods when we don't have nods. So
Yeah, no, that would have been bad.
yeah,
But we did get the PKM, we did get ammo. I actually so this is like we sat there for like a couple more hours,
5 hours
and
in
then
total.
yeah, so we sat there for like an hour and a half, and then a new squad rolled up in the middle of the night. That was six, right? That was squad six.
Yeah,
So that this is like the coolest operator moment I've ever had in my life.
ever.
Yeah. So do you want? Yeah, you can explain that if you want, because you had radio contact.
Yeah, so we see the squad roll up, and we were watching them for like a good 20 minutes, and we look at them, and they radio in. They're like, "Okay, we've gathered all our forces. We're going to try and enter the base. Can you send a runner?" And we interrupt this. Well, we don't interrupt, but we butt in kind of on this conversation going on, and we say to our section commander that we already have eyes on them, and they were shocked to find that out because they had no idea where we were. So tap Noble on the back. He runs out, meets with this squad, guides them into the base, and then you come back. Yeah.
Yeah, I came back.
You left later on for like
Yeah, no, I
2
left later on
hours.
because they needed a runner to go back. I ran back and I forgot what they needed. But I ended up going with the commander to hand out ammo.
Okay.
So I got loaded up. I went to all the other positions.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, oh, that was a edit that out, please. Yeah, for
It's
some
okay.
reason, and for some reason, he wanted me and another person. I guess it was more for the other person, but I think he forgot who I was. He wanted me to meet somebody in our squad that we met already, and I'm like, okay,
Okay.
works with me. So we went to that position. I'm like, hey, how are you? He's like, oh, okay. And then I came back,
Yeah.
and then we chilled there for a little bit more, and then well, you got switched out by our new section commander.
Yeah.
So our other one had to leave. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know, some kind of emergency, but our new fucking squad leader was sick. Big shout out to him.
Yeah,
Squad leader of
rocks.
Squad 2, you know what's up. Guy
Yeah,
was fucking
rocks.
hype. Yeah, so sick.
Yeah, that
Uh,
guy was really cool. He was really
he
really
was just
nice.
a good squad. Like, you could tell that he cared about his squad and he cared about what he was doing. He wasn't
Yeah,
like, oh, I want to be squad leader. Also, what's planning? Like, he wasn't like just some random fucking guy off the street. You could tell that he
yeah.
knew
This
what was
wasn't
going on. And he
this
adapted
wasn't
too. Like, he didn't have a radio at the beginning, which was kind of weird, but neither did I, so it's fine. We found a solution and we kept going. It was good to
I
see
know.
that, though.
I can add on to that. He was really considerate because when we switched out, he asked me to hold that position by myself, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take one
Yeah.
for the team. So I held that position for a while by myself, and he
Yeah.
came back with our good man Chewy.
Dude, I barely spoke to Chewie, but I could feel the legendary aura just coming off of him.
Yeah, yeah, he was really cool. So we held that position for a while. We're like,
Yeah.
hey, we haven't slept yet because this is now 4:30 in the morning. We're like, we haven't slept yet. I sat there like so long after. I sat there from like 1 o'clock to like almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah, because I thought when you left for so long, I thought you were taking a nap.
No,
So,
I was doing a task.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, we sat there, and Rox was concerned. He's like, yeah, we're working on it, man. We're short some men, so we're trying to figure something out with the commander. I'm like, okay, yeah, we understand.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Rox finally came back. He's like, I'm gonna hold this position by myself because he genuinely cared. So
Hmm.
he took one and held it by himself for a bit.
Yeah.
And then we got to go back and sleep. But of course, we told the commander like, hey, he's out
Absolute
there by
mad lad.
himself. Yeah, so he was really cool. So yeah, for me, night one was a long one, but it was good experience
I
overall.
wouldn't even
I'd
call
say.
it night and day. I would just call it like 30 hours
Or
or just
like okay,
continual 20 hours.
the first half
Yeah.
was good.
Um, Yeah, so I guess my end is I got picked up and I took a little bit of a nap, and then we woke up maybe about an hour or 40 minutes later, and we got pulled out and we got put on a position to go. We relieved 2-4, and that was like the northeast position, so the one to our right of our position, and we sat there, and then I just chilled with Mac, and we just cooked food. At that point, we didn't really care about dying, so we just fucking whipped out the jet boil and talked kind of loud and just fucking cooked corned beef and noodles and ate that because I was freezing my dick off. So,
Well, yeah, our recon team dealt with the enemy presence anyway, so
yeah. And then it was also cool because me, Rox, and somebody else, I don't know, we had to like escort like this guy who had to leave the game to the exfil spot, and then we met with this other guy, and it was cool because like we pulled up, and it was like some shit out like Ghost Recon Wildlands. Because like he was like, give me a 360, and like we went around, secured the area, and he had like NVGs on. He's like, yeah, man, I already shot like 3 of them. I'm waiting. There's probably more in the trees. And then we put him back, and he knew what was going on because he had a guy put on rear security, had a guy looking front, and he knew what was going on. We had a lot of reservists and ex-forces members part of the Milsim, which I thought was cool. And I was happy to see that because you're getting a lot of people just getting out and enjoying the game and
yeah,
bringing their experience to the game to make it more realistic and more fun in a sense, more immersive and
yeah,
strategic.
yeah. I enjoyed that because again, it was good experience overall.
Yeah, it was a big benefit. And then after that, we got cycled and then went to bed, woke up, and then woke you up, and then our kind of
Yeah, so
schedules combined after that.
yeah, I went to bed and nobody was there at our camp spot, so I just went to bed in the middle of the field with the
But
machine
yeah,
gun
you just
post watching
slept
over
on
me.
top of a tarp all alone, curled up in a little ball, and then I kicked you in the morning after you only slept like an hour, and I was like, time to
Yeah,
eat.
I slept an hour. You're like, food time.
And then we ate cheese, water, and rice basically, and that was like legendary because it held us for like 5 hours. Like I wasn't hungry till like 5 hours later, considering how
Okay.
little we ate. We ate like a mug's worth of food, but like
Yeah, that was yeah.
yeah, that
But we
was
had an
good.
apple. We had snacks.
Oh, true, true. And we had the Baileys and the coffee.
So
Uh,
this part I want to tell right now. Like just right after we ate, I got ready to move out just to like do a little like patrol because I heard there's like an enemy drone in the area and there's enemy forces like coming. Was it? I
yeah, I
think it
heard the
was.
fucking enemy DJ Max, where the fuck it's called, the drone, the like $1,300 drone flying around. Uh,
Yeah, it like literally rolled up. It like ran up to like the machine gun post and just looked at him and he's just like, okay.
was that not our drone, or was that the
No,
enemy's?
it was an enemy drone.
So they knew where we were, and they like. Oh, I guess they did try to attack us later on. We'll get to that, but yeah.
Yeah, but so like we're like chilling, right? Uh, he's like, okay. Rox is like, do you want to watch this? The tower. I was on top of the house we were in.
Yeah, I wanted to go on top of that. Yeah, that was good because we got to sleep inside a little fucking shack instead of outside. So we got the best bedding in the entire camp. Just the perks.
Yeah. So I was up there with Chewy, and this is where he gets even more legendary. Chewy's like, I was talking to Chewy. He's like, so where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Toronto. He's like, oh, I forgot where he's from. I'm sorry, Chewy. Uh,
Because you're
and he's
definitely
like,
listening to this right now, Chewy. Big shout out.
if he listens, if he's a real one and he follows BB Boys, he'll know. Yeah, no, but we're talking, and I'm like, yeah. So he's like, how long you been Airsoft? And I'm like, oh, a couple years now. I was like, it's like almost 4 years now. Uh, and then we
No,
talked about Milsim's we went
yeah.
to,
This
and he
March or
was
something before.
yeah, and he was at a what was he? He was at Narco,
Narco State.
and yeah, he was at Narco State, and he was on our
Help you
team
with your
apparently.
words. Yeah,
He was on 187 with us,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh, so then you know about him? He's like, who? I'm not gonna say the commander's name.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's his call sign. We're gonna call
Yeah.
him that.
Call
He's like,
sign
oh,
Cheeseburger.
so I'm like, so you know Cheeseburger? He's like, oh my god, do I?
No hard
And
feelings, Cheeseburger, but
yeah,
it's just how it is.
we just talked about the poor leadership. I
Yeah,
won't go into anything else, but that's basically what the gist of it was.
yeah. You know, in all fairness, to defend Cheeseburger a little bit, devil's advocate here, maybe not all people are cut out for leadership roles, and I'm assuming
Yeah,
he probably got what he was supposed to do last minute and didn't really have
yeah,
enough time to prepare. Like I would love to do that job that he had, coordinate with squads, do battle plans, all that shit. I feel like I'd love that. Like if I didn't even need to fire a gun during a Milsim, all I had to do was operate maps and radios. That's cool. But I feel like there's a big disconnect between like when I say, oh, Squad 6 has to hold this building, and then Squad 6 gets bored in that building and then just fuck off. Like I don't want to name names, but we met people at Narco State that did that, and it hurt the whole entire game.
I kind of ruined it.
Yeah. But what I liked about this Milsim Deadfall is that people didn't do that. We followed our orders, so it was good.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, no, it was good. So, what happened after that for you? After with Chewy?
Yeah, we were up there for a little bit, and then we got split up. You got assigned to somewhere else.
Yeah,
So we
I got put to Bravo, like the rear section, and it was
yeah
sick. I just got to talk to this guy about the forces. Big shout out to that guy. He had a cool MP7 and shit. He had an I think it was an MP7 or an MP9 and a saw, and he was considering also bringing a shotgun too. And he was all carrying this on his person, so he was just holding this machine gun post by himself, and it was cool. I held that post, and then I guess I don't
yeah
even remember this happening, but I was like talking to Mac, and then I just fell asleep for 2 hours, and then I woke
yeah
back up.
yeah. You fell asleep. You were at that back position. So
Yeah,
from where I was, you guys moved out. We stayed at a box a little bit longer. That's the building. That's what we called it.
Blockhouse.
Yeah, blockhouse box. I called it box. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So then Rox is like, okay, we're gonna move out. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Um, it's like, oh, we're moving up to like our rear positions or whatever. So that was like the south.
Where we were.
Yeah, so I get there, right, and I'm chilling. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I gotta hold this position. Rock's like, you cover me. I'm like, why? He's like, I want to take a snooze. I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. And I'm like, I want
He
to
needed the
snooze.
sleep though, definitely.
Yeah, no, he definitely needed the sleep.
Yeah.
And then fucking, uh, all of a sudden, right,
Yeah.
I hear talking, and it's slowly getting closer. I'm like, what's that noise? And you know who it was?
Who?
It was you. It was you and Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in the position like right over. I'm like, oh wow, I want to get up and like go talk to you guys to see how you're doing. I
Yeah.
look back and then like he's just Rox is there like laying peaceful. He's like, I'm like, I can't let him down. I was like falling asleep in my position. I'm like, I can't let him down. I can't waking up. I'm like, no, I can't do this.
That's good though, because if he was a shitty squad leader, you like I feel like you totally would have left. Like I wouldn't have cared if he was a shitty squad leader. I'd been like, fuck you, and I would have just dipped. But it was because he cared about the squad that you're willing to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't gonna leave him like that because like he was a really good squad leader. And then Chewie and another dude. I don't know what the other dude was.
Yeah,
Chewie
that
was back
fort
there.
was that the fort that we were holding towards the end of the game. That same
Yeah.
position. That was like a sick spot. It had 3 MG posts, a little like kind of half trench thing. Like that was like fucking. You could hold that.
Yeah, I was on the rear position, closer to you guys.
Yeah.
But each position had a saw, so that was sick.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That fucking place was strapped.
But
Uh,
eventually, Mac rolled up. This is tying into your part of the story. So
yeah.
Mac came from your position. He's like, "Oh, your buddy's over there. Do you have like food on you by chance?" I'm like, "I have like snack items."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh,
Because we
you know,
forgot to bring a day pack. That kind of fucked us.
no, not everything fit on my belt, so I wasn't really
For me, it
complaining."
was just my water bottle. I had to like clip it to my webbing, and I looked like a real rebel fighter because I had like shit hanging off of me.
Well,
Well,
we
you know,
were,
like those like one man bands. That was like me, but it was still functional
oh,
to like do stuff. So it was actually like interesting. It wasn't heavy or anything. So
yeah. So he's like, "Oh, we could trade positions if you want, and you can like share." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's fair." I go over to you, and then you wake up and you're like, "Oh, hey, it's you." I'm like, yeah. And then I pulled up the Chobix and you're like, oh, like you lost it. You're like, oh my, like hype moments 2020.
no, you. I remember because like I felt so bad for you because like you pulled over to me and I was like a hermit. Like I was like uncontrollably laughing at everything and like I was just like losing my mind because like
Yeah, like,
I didn't have like significant sleep at all. Um, and
oh, you
like
didn't. Oh, okay, bud.
yeah, okay. You also didn't. And like I was like continually cold for like an extremely amount of long, like for a really long time. So you just pulled up and you were like hello, and then I laughed at that. Like I laughed at everything you said, like regardless of what you said. So I was
Yeah, but
kind
no,
of
we were
crazy.
having like a serious conversation. And you were like, pull the Joker. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
And then
that was fucked
after
up.
holding that position, Jeremy, the legend, rolls up. He's like,
Yeah,
hey,
with some
how you guys
brewskis.
doing? How you guys doing? He pulls out 2 beers. He's like, I got the cure to COVID.
Yeah, that was pretty
I'm
sick.
like, yeah, so that was nice.
Yeah, beer was nice to have. It was just nice to have some drink that wasn't water, and also beer is great. So.
Hey, I'm not complaining. Free beer.
Yeah. I think a lesson for next time is definitely buy a jet boil because that might be good.
Yeah.
Or bring a backpack just so I can bring my cooker with us because that also works, right? So,
Well,
um,
yeah. Again, the only reason I didn't bring a backpack because I assumed we were gonna have our rucks on us the whole time, but we
yeah,
didn't.
that same thing. That's what I thought was going to happen. So, um, I guess they're just different. Like we literally brought a ruck to carry it 300 meters. So,
But
you
I
know,
get why we had a ruck like that. It was good to have all
yeah,
our gear.
yeah. I think next year, based on how the storyline will be, it might be a little bit different, which is interesting. I don't know if you read up on that. Any stuff they posted? They posted videos and stuff too, which you might want to check out.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, but the story's different. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, we're holding that position. We got the beer, and then we cycled back to the other position because somebody else went there. I forgot who went to our position. Just somebody.
Pablo.
Pablo. Oh, also another legend, man. Real man.
Yeah, another legend.
What a guy. Pablo
Yeah,
was
no, he
sick.
was.
If you guys are wondering, Mac and Pablo are the two guys featured in the photo on our Instagram page. Um,
Yeah, go check out that BB Boys Airsoft, please.
yeah, so they're both in there. They're really good guys to work with, especially Mac. No offense to Pablo, we just didn't really see him too much. We only saw him like towards the end, but he was still pretty sick. But Mac really helped us out, and he kept cooking us food, which was nice. He gave us like beans, so that was nice to see. So we go back to Charlie position, which is just like the bigger, like kind of defensive pillbox
Yeah,
area.
the one I was at originally.
Yeah, and we weren't meant to go on this attack, but we just went anyways, and we were needed in the end of it, so it was worth it. But we were just kind of confused in the moment. That's why we went.
Yeah,
but we got
so
pulled for this giant attack because it found a reconnaissance squad of our side found out that the enemy team, Joint Operations Task Force Group, or whatever the fuck it was called, I'll just call it Joint Task Force, was prepping for an attack. So we were in a clearing, that was our base, and that clearing was surrounded practically by a 360-degree ring of bush, like forest. And then past that was an opening. So we were like in the donut hole of a donut, if you want to imagine that.
it was the area we were watching over.
Yeah. And on the outside of this donut was a clear field, and that's where this joint task force was prepping to attack us. Now I don't know what the fuck they were doing in an open field, just chilling. But bad call on their end because we spotted them, and then we just came out of the tree line. It was sick. It was like some like 1700s fight with musket men.
Yeah,
it was just a firing line of just LMGs and ARs just constantly moving forward. It was just
our ATVs rolled up on them.
Yeah, we also had ATVs with guns on them. One had a mounted saw on it, and we pulled up. And then I had an ammo bag on mine, so Mac would shoot his gun, call me over, and he'd have to reload from my backpack. And I think I got like maybe 2 to 4 kills in that, and we all brought back a prisoner.
Because what we did is from our position, we had the machine guns, right? And Jeremy said something, we weren't sure.
Yeah.
And then what Mac and I did and what we did is we just grabbed the LMGs and we like full sprinted to the other area.
Yeah, I wore the ammo bag, carried the G3, and used my honey badger. And then you were using a saw, and then so was Mac, and I think Chewy was as well. So like we had a lot of LMGs in this, and it was worth it. It was really worth it.
Yeah, we killed a lot of people.
Yeah, the way how this game worked is that if you shot somebody, they could be captured, and they could be taken back to your base, or if they're on your team, you could rescue them and revive them by taking them back to the respawn point. Or if you die, you can just leave the game. So we captured everybody and we brought him back, and it was cool. We all locked them in a room in our HQ area, and that was the prisoner room, and that was always under watch by like 1 to 3 people. So I thought that was cool. It would have been cool if there was like a prison break attempt, because that would have been sick.
Yeah, no, they didn't though. I don't know why they didn't.
It was impossible. Like I saw it, like it was a room inside a building with a guy watching that door, and then there was a guy watching the only exit door. So like,
I thought JOTF or Joint Task Force would have at least tried to.
Yeah, maybe a rescue mission.
Yeah, you would have thought, because our the blockhouse side was like completely undefended other than the blockhouse.
Yeah, no, like if you rushed it from the opposite side of the blockhouse, you could take it.
Yeah.
Like if you kill everybody quick enough and get them out quick, it would take too long for us to get back there. Or by the time we get back there, we probably only get like the rear section.
Like suppressing fire on the machine gun posts in that positions, like including the main HQ, would have been hard at all. So you could have bound it up.
I think the reason that didn't happen is because we crippled them too hard in the first attack.
Yeah,
like we counterattacked their attack before it happened.
Yeah, we captured over half of them. Like we caught them with their pants down. Like no, completely off actually.
Off on the shitter.
Yeah, like literally.
But yeah, we brought him back, and then we went back to our positions, and then I took a shit in the woods. I just feel like that's important to include. Yeah, I won't go into that anymore. You had your food. We upped the position a little bit more. I cut some branches, and I created a cone of death in the machine gun. So that would have been cool to hold, because I made it just so it was enough to shoot out of, but it would still be hidden from the outside. And then, what was it? We just got called to go on a patrol to go finish off the rest of them. And then we marched there, and they were already dead by the time we got there, so we just marched the prisoners back, and we won the game.
Yeah, we won the game a whole, like...
Yeah. It was
like
meant
10 hours early.
It was meant to go to like Sunday morning at the latest, and we won it on 4 o'clock on a Saturday. So,
yeah,
good on us.
We did it. Yeah, we did it.
Good on everybody on the team. And Joint Task Force, interesting to fight against. I can't really say like they're a good opponent. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but like they didn't even have a chance. That sounds like a dick thing. We took the chance away from them by that counterattack because they were gonna do stuff. And I feel like I don't know. I don't even know what would happen. Hypothetically, if we didn't counterattack that, what, the recon squad would fight them, and the two guard posts would fight them, and then we would still counterattack them.
Well, there's a lot of possibilities.
It would be a lot uglier if we didn't stop it. Like, it would have been a lot more of an even fight if we didn't stop it.
Yeah, like I think like in my head, what they would have done is they would have killed the recon team, captured them, and brought them back, and then for some reason I think that our commander would want to attempt a rescue mission because his recon team was like all our NVG guys.
It would be sick though if we waited till night to do the rescue.
That would be close to that would be really hard.
I know, but it just would be cool. Like, you know, like if we just like pulled up and fucking like took out a couple guys to like create a path and then just let them all out. That would be really cool. Like we got the sniper, the lady with the sniper rifle, because that's gonna be super quiet. Can take out like the guards mounting sentry. Also, we had like an actual base that was like a house and it had another house next to it. The fucking Joint Task Force were just vibing in a field. That was their HQ. When we pulled up, it was just a field. So
well, they were meant to just like, the story is they're attacking us because like we were like a sovereign nation. So I wouldn't imagine that they had a base. Yeah,
but like there was like nothing there. Like it was literally just an open area, no tents, nothing. Feel kind of bad for him. What I do like though is that it's completely separate. The two teams, it's completely separate. I have no idea what Joint Task Force was thinking, what they were planning, what they were doing. Narco State, I knew what the Narcos were doing. I definitely knew what ZDF was doing. But this one, they're very separate, and I feel like it would have been a completely different experience if I went the other team. You know? Like most Milsims, most like Ontario Milsims are just kind of, I'm going to be on this team because I want to wear this camouflage. Like there's no specific reason other than that, you know, like sure that might be a deciding factor anywhere, but if we went on Joint Task Force, it would have been a completely different experience and we would have done completely different things. So I think that was really cool.
The best way I can describe it is every Ontario Milsim is like a game of Battlefield where it's the exact same thing you're doing, but it's like just a different look or it's like Squad, it's like the exact same thing, except you just have like you have different soldiers and different camos.
And there's never NATO versus Warsaw or like US versus Russia. There's always narco cartel or African militia. I've never seen like a vanilla like typical Milsim West style game. Like maybe people in Ontario are just allergic to just doing that, but it's so weird. This is the closest we've gotten to that. But yeah, I don't know.
No, it was done well with the different roles.
No, I think this was probably the best Milsim we've been to. And I think, because it's so brutal and because it's so hard and annoying and painful to be in, it's a benefit because it weeds out the people who, and not to say it's bad, it just weeds out the people who aren't really serious about it, and maybe those people just need more time to practice and play the game, you know?
Yeah, like we have a good example of that. I won't name names, but like it's exactly what you said. Like if I had a team, I wouldn't want like my newer guys going if they had
for sure.
Yeah, I'd want them to have like more experience. Like I'd probably recommend that they go to like a Narco first or something like it.
Yeah.
Or even like a long classic of BB Boys Jackal.
Yeah, or just be airsofting for a couple of years or doing a lot of games before then.
Like I wouldn't recommend Deadfall as the first Milsim.
Yeah, and also really recommend radios. Radios were a lot of fun to use. Big fan. Using them then actually like influenced me to buy one. So yeah, big plus. So I guess we said what was it all about? You want to go over what was good about it? Because I feel like we already kind of highlighted that plenty of times.
My takeaways that were good overall, in my opinion. The communication between our commanders, our squads, I think was good. Like there were some muck-ups.
Yeah.
here and there, but overall it was good. I like the organization. I also like the experience
Hmm.
that I got because again there was a bunch of like X forces in the forces in reserves,
Yeah,
a bunch of those
and I
guys.
like playing with those people because there's a lot to take away from what they have. You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
bring a
So
lot to the sport too,
yeah,
because they're
so
not
that
like some fucking douchebag being like, yeah, I saw this one video on CQB, so follow me. Like, you know, so not to name names, but
yeah, everyone was pretty close in it. I'd say.
yeah. Um, any negatives?
Any negatives?
Yeah.
Uh, Honestly, other than like the weather, I can't really complain. I don't think
Okay.
there's any big negatives.
I got some
Uh,
negatives.
I think the only big negative I has was our CO uh like told me to get 1 hour of sleep when I hadn't slept the whole night.
Hold on, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Um, where was I?
We talked about the negatives.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of negatives. Negative number 1, commander sucked. Negative number 2, squad sucked. Negative number 3, team sucked. I feel like if we can fix those, it could be really good.
Oh, are you serious?
No. The only negative I can really think of, like game wise, is just the ammunition thing was weird.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
that too. That's my other takeaway.
Not necessarily bad. It was just weird. I can kind of get why it was done, but it was weird.
If we had more time on our
Negatives.
hands, I get it.
Really, the negatives I have are just like personal stuff. Like we should have packed. I should have packed differently. Like I packed as if we were always moving, not standing still.
Yeah, like I don't need to pack as much for next time.
Yeah, so I need to pack different things. Should have brought a ground mat and should have brought a day bag. That's really it for me, for my own negatives. But yeah, I think overall the event was pretty good.
It was, yeah. I have no like big complaints at all. So
What do you think we should do for next time? Because I'm thinking we get radios,
yeah,
uh,
radios for next time. That's
maybe
my
get more people to come with us because it was just us two this time. So now that we
yeah
have that
no
experience, we can share that.
yeah no. Now that we've done it, like I don't think anyone else in BB Boys is gonna have a problem.
Yeah, because at least we can show them
Yeah.
or guide them. Um, what else?
Um, I'm gonna pack like I'm gonna wear a sweater underneath my soft shell next time.
Yeah, I should do
That
that
was
too.
that was brutal. And that was it wasn't as brutal as I thought it would be, but like the nighttime, which is bad.
I think I might also bring like those little heater things too, like those
Yeah,
little
no,
like hot
literally,
pocket things.
I'm gonna get the hot pocket things and just slide them in my pockets and then lie on top of them if I ever go prone in like a bush again.
Yeah, or like for me, it was what was so cold. I think it was like my core. My core was really cold.
It was just my hands, or no, it wasn't my hands. It was my yeah, no, it was my hands.
My core was cold, but I was looking drip in the multicam. So at what cost would I change my clothes? No, I think that was the only thing holding me back from like putting on 9 sweaters because like it was the multicam. Got to stay in
Or like
uniform.
yeah, that. Other than that, I have no
Hmm.
problems or issues.
Uh, so for next year, I guess we'll move into that if you don't have anything else to say.
No.
Um, Next year, so we won this game. And this game was kind of like a defend our territory from Joint Task Force and repel them. So we won. We did repel them. The objective for next year is that we're taking the fight to Joint Task Force. So they're defending, and then we'll be attacking. Um,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, so it'll be very different. I think it'll be a lot riskier for us because good thing about this, Milsim, we never died once. We never got shot, injured, wounded ever. So I was really
We
surprised by that.
we got shot at like a little bit, but that wasn't.
I
That
was
was over.
surprised I didn't take one in the dome in the field attack because I was just like insanely madman, just fucking hip firing the honey badger in the field. Be like, come and get some. So I was surprised I didn't take one. So yeah, for next year we'll be taking the fight to Joint Task Force. I wonder if they'll combine with PRZ and do stuff like that because I heard they did that in later years. Mac told me in later years or a couple years ago.
Earlier. Yeah,
Yeah,
no. I remember it was like if you got captured, they'd take you to PRZ.
yeah, they put you in a van and take you to PRZ. Like, how the fuck do you get back from that? What's the rescue op in that? You just walk
I,
an hour. That's so weird. Walk an hour,
Yeah.
stop at Don's. They like follow you into McDonald's, like drag you out from the dining room. That'd be funny.
Do you see a camoed up guy walk to the washroom at all? Oh yeah, yeah, yes sir. Why? Cock's gun.
uh, yeah, so I'm excited for next year. Hopefully it's not brutal because I've heard about some bad times at Deadfall with waist high water and having to dig trenches in a swamp and all that kind of stuff. Um, this was apparently one of the easier years, and it was. And I think if we packed right, it would have been pretty lax. Main thing was
Yeah.
just the sleeping stuff was kind of weird. There's
If I
probably some
if,
phantom squad out there that got 8 hours of sleep. So
honestly, I think that's what JOTF did. I think they'd all just like
you
all
think they all
took
just
a
like
nap.
went to bed? Yeah, probably.
That's honestly what I think happened, but I wouldn't know. I wasn't there.
Next time we should just have one guy up with like a megaphone, and then everybody goes to bed. And then if like we hear any enemy contact, we all just wake up and just instantly start fighting.
How much louder can contact get with a megaphone?
Only the corporal can say contact that loud.
No.
Do you want to talk about what happened with our next airsoft thing?
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, no, BB Boys, right now is in kind of like
A
another like
limbo.
pickle, another limbo,
Another
because
pickle.
as you know, like I myself live in the Toronto area,
Toronto.
and most of the fields in my area are like either in Toronto or like near it, and Toronto was announced to go into another lockdown, starting today actually. The Monday
Oh
was the date.
yeah, yeah. It did start
So
today.
yeah, so starting Monday, November
It's
23rd.
not even Toronto. It's like everything around it too.
It's Toronto and the Greater Toronto area.
Yeah.
Everywhere's in lockdown. So we were gonna do uh, a
Private booking.
yeah, a nice private booking at Siege Airsoft, and that was gonna be our last little like event that we do before
The
the
season really
holidays.
closes. Yeah.
Yeah, the season closes, so like we wouldn't go again till like the weather got a little better for outdoors,
Well, like
and that got canceled.
seriously go. Sometimes we do some fun winter stuff in CP. So
Yeah, this year it's a little harder this year, obviously, just because you live out there now.
yeah, like I wouldn't mind driving down if it was planned, because I did that one time.
Yeah,
But it would suck if I drive down and then there's like nobody there and it's just me and you, and then it's like the
yeah,
ultimate 1v1 for 6 hours.
yeah. So it's just like yeah, in my eyes, that's not too worth it.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we're in a limbo for now. We're kind of done. Maybe like throughout like the next lockdown and throughout like
we'll see because with December coming up, we could do something at Combat, and
yeah,
we'll see
could
how their winter games are going. Because if they are
I
busy, we could do it, and I could come down, stay down for a while,
I
and then
think
go back up.
I think the combat area is gonna like Durham. I think that's gonna be going into lockdown as well,
Maybe, yeah, we'll see. We'll
because
see how it is.
they're in the red right now. So
Yeah, it's a tough time balancing airsoft with COVID, and of course we try and keep safe when we compete. We're not like anti-maskers trying to go out there and spread, you know, coronavirus. But it just
yeah,
sucks that it got canceled. But I can definitely understand why. I'm not pissed at it being canceled. It's just how it is right now,
yeah,
and it
of
got
course, yeah.
moved. Like we'll do it once the lockdown's lifted. But yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
understand. There's a lockdown, especially it is smart to do a lockdown now during Christmas because you would have a lot of people going to these malls, going to restaurants. So it's not convenient, but it's smart to do it now. So
yeah, yeah, but yeah. So BB Boys isn't. We're not going to be airsofting as much the next little bit.
yeah, not for
Hopefully
a
we do.
while.
Yeah,
Hopefully in spring, once the vaccine, apparently they're saying spring starts to get released, security or
yeah.
not security measures, but healthcare measures will start to get a little bit more lax, and then we can start doing more Milsims. Because I want to do a lot in spring and a lot in summer, like what we planned to do this
I
year, but then everything
I
got canceled.
I honestly I wanted to try going back to Jackal. One of
Yeah,
these days.
I forget how far of a drive Jackal was. Uh,
I don't think it was nearly as bad as the other ones.
it's what, like 2 hours or an hour?
That's like an hour and a half.
Oh. You know
It's
what I
not nearly
found
as bad.
out? PRZ does walk-on games.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So
no,
if
they
you
do.
if you want to make the long ass drive for a day, we can do it, and it's cheap as fuck. It's like $20.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. do that grab a bite after, like we did.
It's. I mean, I said that as a joke, but if you want to do it, I mean, it's like a 6 hour round trip for 6 hours of game. I don't know what their timing is. We'll see what their timing is, but it might be a longer days. I think they start at 8 a.m. So if they end at 8 p.m. or something, that's kind of worth it.
For $20, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, or even like 4 o'clock. I don't know what their timings is, but the field is sick, so I wouldn't mind to go back, and especially wearing lighter gear because for a narco, I was weighed down with all this shit that I was wearing. And I get it; it's realistic, and like people do that all the time. But I like to be light, especially like I'm a big fan of the chest rig. Like after using that for that Milsim, for Deadfall, I'm like a big fan of it now. Of course, I never got shot, so I mean I was wearing a jacket, but like the nips might get blown off, but that's fine. Like I'm willing to take the risk with just it being light. I'm able to keep cool. Because the sweat, I sweat a lot with the fucking plate carrier.
Yeah,
I feel like you would enjoy a chest rig.
I'd like my setup right now. The tack belt and the plate
The
carrier,
QPC.
or the lighter plate carrier. I just
Yeah.
really like that. It's really nice.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Well, we'll try and definitely get out during the winter season, and we'll, I guess, try to keep you guys updated. But it's just going to slow down now with the lockdown happening, and that literally like blocks like 4 or 5 fields or something, like all the big fields. So if we were to go, it would have to be further away. But we'll take a look at it, and I definitely do want to go in the winter because we have some kit to work with that, and it's always just fun to go in the winter because you don't. It's just nice because after you're all hot from doing your game, you just take off your helmet for like 30 seconds and you're all cool, and then you're like, it's just like zen. It's very nice.
Yes, I go airsofting in the winter just to feel the cool air on my head.
No, but isn't
And
it
that'll
nice? Like your goggles don't fog up. Like you're just able to chill.
Yeah.
It's relaxing.
Everyone's afraid to get wet,
It's
so
easy to see people.
Easier to see people. Yeah.
You carry bombs and you fall over and you have to retreat back to cover. It's very nice.
You slip on the way to staging areas. Yeah.
Yeah, or you try and show somebody your sight and then you fall over on a trail.
Yeah, and then your friends don't help you up. And then they throw a paintball and it hits your sight.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah. BB Boys are also thinking about getting some new guns.
Oh yeah, we're looking into a team gun, our first ever team gun.
Yeah, I know Michael's looking into getting a new gun, and he won a shotgun at Narco, which was fucking surprising, because, like, it's weird, because now we know 2 people who won guns in raffles, and we haven't won guns in raffles. Like, I always think it's, like, the most unlikely thing to do, and I know 2 people who've done it. But I like raffles.
Yeah.
And then now we're looking into, getting a team gun. We're looking to get an LMG for the team. Mainly just to split the cost, because I'm not rich. So just looking to kind of get something a little bit cheaper and split it amongst the team. People run it during different different people run it during different milsims, and it's going to add another level of effectiveness to our squad.
Yeah, more dynamic plays.
LMGs do a lot of cool stuff because you can have one guy suppressing, the other half of the squad go around and flank the enemy. Just basic tactics, and it's just cool because you just have a higher rate of fire most of the time and higher ammo count. It's mainly just the ammo count and the fire rate, to be honest. We could like soup up a CM16 and do that, although it wouldn't look as cool.
Real box mag AR.
I think they made a box mag CM16 version.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that on the website.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but
especially the CM16, like it's not a great gun. It's not the best gun out there. It's not a bad gun, obviously.
Yeah, it's the cottage planker of Airsoft. Gets the job done. It's nowhere near the Canadian Tire standard issue, though. That's the real cream of the crop.
It's too creamy.
But yeah, pro tip to all you youngsters: if you want to get into Airsoft, CM16 is literally the best way to go. CM16 long. The
long. The long
short
is the best way to go.
The short is only good for indoor. If you get the long, after a while, your spring will just degrade into indoor standards. Like I'm talking, like if you start in the spring and you wait till winter and then you go to indoor, your spring will probably be at that level, depending on your indoor field. And also, you can just get a spring change for like $20, or you can do it yourself, like me. And when I changed my I don't know, I probably told you this, but when I changed my spring in my CM16, I opened up the gearbox, and literally, you're meant to put pressure on the spring guide to hold the spring in place, and you just open the gearbox, change the spring, do that. But I put pressure on the spring, and then like last minute I like accidentally tilted it a little bit, and that made the spring bend and then bounce out, and then basically your gearbox makes your gun function, and it has a bunch of gears and springs and different systems inside of it. That whole thing just came apart like a fucking puzzle, and then I had to literally rebuild my gearbox. I think I did that twice, so it was not fun. If you don't do that though, you can change your spring in like 20 minutes. um,
And then there's me who just quick change.
Yeah, or you can get a gun with quick change. But I think that's a whole podcast for another time. We could definitely talk about getting guns and different kind of stuff if we
Yeah,
wanted to.
I think we have a lot more time to do podcasts now that there's not much
Now that
airsoft
we
to
can't
do.
go anywhere to play airsoft, yeah, we
Yeah,
have a
so
lot more
we'll do
time.
the next thing and talk about it.
Yeah, I'll put up a fucking cool math games let's play on the channel. Get that going.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening to the podcast. I'm sure everybody made it this far in. And if you're listening and you went to Deadfall, it was a pleasure fighting you or fighting alongside you. I think it was a great time. Both teams were
Yeah.
great. Both teams did great stuff.
Yeah.
Any last remarks, Noble?
Uh, well, other than that, yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay, great.
Yeah.